That's all I got to listen to right now. Or that's all the energy I have to listen to something right now. That's not true, but I just felt like ending it there. Hi. This is just gonna be a chill stream. I'm eating gummy bears right now. These delicious 12 flavored gummy bears. If you have them in your area, definitely get some. They're really good. I feel like watching two interviews. One with Mark Andre Hamlin, one with Cyprian Katsars. So I'm just chilling. Like I'm I'm tired. I actually don't know why I'm streaming right now. I just felt like it though. I just felt like it. So to pass the time, let's just watch an interview.
We are very happy to have with us today the pianist Marc-André Amelin. Welcome to the Hine Verlag. You've just given a concert here in Munich last night and will play in Belgium tomorrow. So thank you very much for taking the time to visit our publishing house for this interview.
It's a pleasure. It's wonderful to see the offices. You know what your facility looks like here. It's wonderful. Up to now, I mean, for I think any pianist, you know, all you are blue covers. That's what identifies you, you know. But now, I can see where you are. It's great.
We at Hinde have just published 3 urtext editions of works by Rachmaninoff: the 24 Preludes, the Etude Tableau, and the Corelli Variations. And the fingerings for these volumes have been provided by none other than you, Marc-André Amelin. I remember when we met in December 2012 to discuss this project, you were at first a bit hesitant to take on the job. Were you skeptical about the idea of adding fingerings in general, or maybe was it because of Rachmaninoff in particular? For example, how well did you know the works that I mentioned before?
Well, I think at first I was hesitant because I didn't know whether editions really needed fingerings. Because, and I still think that there are quite a few passages and sections of works which are so obvious that they really don't need any commentary or fingering elucidation from anyone, really. But there are actually, after examining these works closely, I can say that there are indeed suggestions that are possible to be made, above and beyond what Rachmaninoff has already provided. So that's what I set out to do.
In a few places, Rachmaninoff added fingerings himself, and they are very original sometimes. Have these fingerings been illuminating to you in some way? I mean, does it tell you something about the way he wanted his pieces to be performed?
Well, first of all, when I saw that he provided some fingerings, of course, I wasn't going to change them. And I don't think, I mean, this is a little bit long ago that I did these fingerings, but as far as I remember, I did not suggest any alternates when he provided his own, because I figured that he had specific results in mind. In one particular case, which I think is one of your questions, it's very, very clear that the fingering that he indicates, it's in the 4th Etude Tableau, Opus 39, really has an influence on the musical result. And it's a very, very simple thing. So it's a simple descending scalar passage. But it's sort of a very marcato sort of style of music. So what he indicates is thumb and second finger. Thumb on the black key, which in music of the classical period is considered taboo, you know, but here it's perfectly acceptable, and there's an accent at the end of the scale. So it helps the rhythmic contour of the piece. And I think that is better than if you just fingered it the conventional way, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. It wouldn't be quite as effective. So that's a very, very intelligent suggestion, and I wasn't about to change it. So that's just one example. He did not provide a lot of fingerings overall, only when he felt it was absolutely necessary. But my role in there was to supplement these suggestions, not with anything terribly personal. Although I was thinking that there are places which perhaps need clarification, depending on your level of pianistic ability in order to tackle these things. Another interesting question, of course, is what kind of hand do you write fingerings for? Because Rachmaninoff had very large hands. I think he could span a 12th. I myself can span an 11th. So just from do to fa. And generally I tried to stick to fingerings which would benefit a large hand, even though there are many pianists who tackle these things, who happily tackle these pieces, who have very, very small hands. But I've found that pianists who do have small hands somehow find a way to get around the writing and find solutions through creative pedaling or whatnot, or certain other devices that I'm not aware of, because I have a large hand and I don't have to worry about these things. But I decided to really stick to the large hand philosophy, the large hand sort of canvas in writing these fingerings.
So with regard to your own fingerings that you have provided, maybe you could show us an example of a passage where you felt it was necessary to give a hint to the pianist?
I think in most cases the solution, when there was no fingering, was so obvious that I didn't feel that I could add any fingerings without making the performer feel like an idiot for not thinking of it themselves. But in certain cases, I guess there's more personal things, such as this little passage here in Opus 39, number 9, Etude Tableau. It's a simple pattern in thirds, and it's within a D major sort of scale, diatonic scale. If you would follow the sort of accepted concept that you shouldn't have too many thumbs on the black keys, then you would finger it, taking care to put second fingers on black keys. But personally, I find that it helps to have as much of the same movement as possible with each of these slurs. So I put a thumb and third finger on every eighth note. It helps establish the rhythm, the regularity and of the rhythm, and also the regularity of the accents. Instead of, which is pretty much how you would finger a scale in thirds. So that's just one example, really.
Are there pieces that you got to know better while working on the fingerings, and perhaps would consider playing them now more often in your concerts, or maybe for the first time?
I have to say that I haven't played all of these pieces, but working on these fingerings would definitely encourage me to explore this literature further. I don't think I would necessarily play all of them, but there are some which I hadn't been as attentive to as I should, and which would make a perfect addition to some of the programs that I offer. And to answer another possible question, I think it is perfectly possible to offer fingerings for things that you haven't played before. You approach this sort of thing in the same way as you would when you're learning a piece. Finding fingerings is part of that process, whether you are playing the piece or not.
What would you say? Which place does Rachmaninoff occupy in your repertoire in general?
I think I'm very likely to play more Rachmaninoff in the future. I added a few preludes in my repertoire a couple of years ago, and I'd definitely be interested in looking at more of the Etude Tableau. I can't tell you how many people have actually said, that you should look at the first sonata. Because they really love it. The couple of times I've heard it, I have to say that it did not make an immediate impression, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything, because I can think of other composers, Medtner, for example, which don't make an immediate impression at first hearing, but then, they gradually, the music takes hold of you, and I'm sure that. In some of Rachmaninoff's works, and it's the case as well. On the other hand, I think that something like Rachmaninoff's Chopin variations is a very appealing piece, but it hasn't really received its due. I mean, pianists are much more readily tackling the Corelli variations, but I think the Chopin variations, even though it's an early work, is very worthy of anyone's attention. I'm going to say, in a concert setting, it might be a little hard to digest having all 24 preludes. I used to play all of Iberia in one concert, and I thought it was a marvelous idea, but some people told me it's a lot of Spanish music in one recital, and in a rather long recital too, because I also used to add Navarra. I think there is a case to be made that there will be never enough Rachmaninoff recordings, because he's such a vital presence and continues to be, and I think his presence in our lives is really growing, and it's especially amusing to consider past critical opinions of his music. If you look at the 1954 Grove. There was an article, the entry on Rachmaninoff, written by Eric Blum, who was the editor, said that on the whole, the music doesn't have much future. If you can imagine that. But at the time,
Think there might be feedback coming back from my mic? Is it just picking up on the audio from the interview? Okay then. Whew. One of our friends is back. Let's check this out real quick. When was the interview done? This interview was July 2014. There's an interview I wanted to look up. That's not what it was. So I have to find that interview now.
Konnichiwa.
I could have just said that myself. Whatever. That cut to the interview was just now slightly awkward. It's all good. We have like 5 minutes left of this interview. There's like another interview I need to look up, because I'm trying to remember if Hamelin said something that I don't. Wait, what am I saying? I want to check if Hamelin said something that I don't know if he said or not. And I remember what the interview kind of looks like, and I thought it was this one, but it's not. So we'll be on the lookout.
Rachmaninoff really wasn't to us what he is now. He's become a necessity.
So do you think there are differences perhaps between America, Europe and Asia with respect to Rachmaninoff's reputation or to the popularity of his works?
I think the Rachmaninoff's reputation is growing everywhere. I think he's really essential for all of us. The immediacy, the wonderful melodiousness of the music, and the way he just plunges directly into our hearts, all of that. We finally realized what a great musician he was, and as I said, what an essential ingredient he is to our lives.
You've also played in Russia, in Moscow. Do you think there's a special feeling about it, to play maybe in the same venues as Rachmaninoff did, or in front of a Russian public?
Oh, I think definitely, and I have. I remember one of the last concerts I gave there was I did the second sonata, the 1931 version, also with a couple of preludes before, and I have to say that for one reason or another, I mean, there was a special warm feeling. and perhaps an added sense of occasion when playing these for an audience who just lives, breathes, and talks Rachmaninoff, and eats Rachmaninoff.
Apart from Rachmaninoff, you have recorded many pieces from the Russian repertoire. You have recorded the complete Scriabin sonatas, the sonatas by Nikolai Medtner. You've recorded an album with music by Nikolai Roslavets. Is there something special that is appealing to you in Russian music that you wouldn't find in a different repertoire, even if you have recorded many other pieces from French or American composers?
Well, I think I've always been attracted to the richness of it. I mean, that's the word that really comes to my mind the most, is that there is an incredible richness, and there's an unbelievable melding of craft and true inspiration. Of course, you could say that about Bach and Beethoven, but there is something special in Russian music that I find that separates it from the rest, but I'm still really trying to identify exactly what it is. Of course, there's even Russian music varies in interest, of course. I mean, but the best is among the very greatest that I think there is, and sometimes in very many different ways. And there's quite a few Russian composers which are, well, they clearly deserve more of our attention. I'm thinking of Lyapunov and his Transcendental Etudes, which are really masterpieces of their kind, marvelously conceived for the piano with some wonderful ideas, and a composer named Georgy Catoir, who was in really complete obscurity for most of the 20th century because he's mostly remembered as a composition teacher at the Moscow Conservatory. But his miniatures are really marvelous, and I think surpass a lot of what, for example, Lyadov or Rimsky-Korsakov wrote. They really surpass him in interest. So, I mean, these are just examples. But the font of Russian literature is very vast and very worthy of further exploration. It's not always easy to get access to the printed music, of course, but at least now, in this day and age, it's easier than ever.
So you're not only a world-class pianist, but also a researcher, a musicologist in a way?
Well, I wouldn't elevate myself to your position, of course, but let's say I'm a great enthusiast.
In conclusion, it should be mentioned that Marc-André Amelin not only provided the fingerings, but also gave us valuable advice with regard to possible mistakes in the historical editions, especially missing accidentals. So, we are convinced that our Rachmaninoff Urtext editions offer you the most reliable musical text there is today. And of course, we're looking forward to our upcoming joint projects. There will be certainly more Rachmaninoff in the future. Marc-André Amelin, thank you very much for joining us today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Cool. Check what this says real quick. There's something I was gonna look up. Actually, there's something I need to do real quick, which is open this. Gonna edit some music real quick. Because what if I forget to do it later? Excuse me. Okay, perfect. Oops. Hello, Montu. Oh, shit, okay. Excuse me. Okay. Need to make this small. That's pretty loud. Let me turn it down here. I see comments. Left hand Paganini caprices. I'm probably not gonna do that. Arthur Sumiro? Why are you asking about Arthur Sumiro? I do plan on making studies on the Paganini caprices, but I'm not going to make like left. I mean, I might. Who knows, right? But that's not part of my plan right now. Right now, I'm just planning on doing two-handed versions. No, sort of my own. I don't know what you're talking about now. Could you arrange some of the JavaScript for the left hand? Maybe. Which movements were you thinking about? Who's arranged Paganini caprices for the left hand? No one. I lied. Arthur Sumiro has apparently made all variations of the 24th caprice for left hand alone. I really want to see that. Where is it? Compositions and works. He is indeed epic. Let's see what he's done for left hand alone. Let me just check this out. Transcriptions for the left hand alone. Bach, Toccata, and Fugue. I have that score. And the prelude. He's done all the piano sonatas and the symphonies for left hand alone. Yeah, here we go. Bach, Rachmaninoff, Hamburg, Friedman, Lutosławski, and Liszt. Paganini variations, and that's on the Caprice number 24. He's done Fantasy Impromptu for left hand alone. All the Liszt Transcendental Etudes and all of the Paganini Etudes, he's made them for left hand alone. He's done several Rachmaninoff, Flight of the Bumblebee, Saint-Saëns, Schubert, a lot of Scriabin, and then even he's also done two-handed stuff. I believe, yeah. Oh my god. He's made like two-handed editions of the, not editions, like arrangements of the Transcendental Etudes. Like what? I need to. I'm really, and a triple etude. Made a triple etude. It's in a book. It's going to be in 2 books to be published in the future. So that's going to be insane. I'm working on Caprice 22 for solo piano. I need to hear that one. Left-hand arrangements of Liszt Paganini Etudes and Transcendental Etudes. You need to contact Open Systems for this course. Yeah. Yeah, I have the Transcendental Etudes. Zicky's works are epic too. Check them out. I've seen at least the Liebestrom. He has recorded the complete Schiffer recorded improvisations. I know he's made sheet music for that. I don't know if he's recorded it. See him on too.
このスコアは、ブラジルの名手ピアニストと私の友人によるものです。彼の名前はアルトゥル・サイミロです。
Oh, maybe he was asking about this score. Whatever. Okay. I'm gonna make some edits for a little bit. Oh, Koenig Zuki is good. Yeah, that's true. Oh. Um. There's CB arranged that too. Yeah, he made the beginning, and I tweaked some stuff in the beginning. He said he made the end too, but he's not like getting back to me about the ending, which sucks because I made the middle part. He couldn't figure out the middle part. Thankfully, I came up with the middle part. But like, he said he had the ending done, but he's not like sharing it, which sucks because I don't know how to do the ending for this piece. So I'd really like to hear back from him about that. No worries, Lucas. This, what the fuck? This wasn't in my sheet music that I purchased. Okay, well, yeah, we're gonna have to fix that now. Fuck it. No, fuck it. Just keep it like that. No, now I need to look at a recording. I swear to God, my sheet music didn't have that. Yeah, see, there's like a, it's a, you know what I'm trying to say. Wow, I'm tired. Did I miss something here? Oh, what the hell? Why would they change that in future editions? Why? Why would they change that? Did Chopin change that? That's such a weird thing to change. What? I want to hear how that sounds now. Samiro planned to have recorded the Moreau set of etudes for Actipria label by 2018, but that never ended up happening. No, I mean okay. So I talked to him about this, over email. He's confirmed they're all recorded. There's just production delays, a lot of production delays, and I didn't ask him about it after that because like, I don't want to keep bothering the guy about like. So by the way, when's the Moreau project coming out? Didn't want to keep bothering him about that, but he assures me they're done. It's just a matter of like getting them distributed and everything. How do I switch? Oh.
少し疲れただけで元気です。
Hello, Doom Piano. What if I take this out? I don't know what to do there. I think I'll make that small, and I'll put a note. See ya, the sheet music boy. Take care. Shit. 1, 2, 3, 4.
咳を気にしないでください。喉が少し痛いです。
What piece is it? This is Chopin Prelude 21, and I'm making a version for left hand alone. Shit. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's not too bad. Not too bad. This is actually probably one of the easiest preludes of the set. What inspired me to arrange for the left hand alone? Are you talking about in general or for these preludes? In general, Godowski and Arthur Samiro inspired me a lot. For these preludes, I don't know what inspired me. No, just kidding. Prelude number 20, I was like, challenging myself because, I'll just show you. Normally, the way you play it is by having the hands like the hands are too spread out to play it, at the same time with like one hand. So the challenge was like, hello, the Nerdy Musketeers. So the challenge is like, how do I make it just as impactful while making a one-hand version? And I can show you me playing it. And then I was like, fuck it, might as well do the other preludes. Where is it? This is me playing, by the way. So as you can see, really simple, easy arrangement, but I think still effective. And then another one that inspired me to work on the whole preludes was prelude number 4, because I was like struggling to think of like a way to make that just as impactful as it was like originally. And the problem with it is that like, well, you'll see. Someone has already made a left hand alone version of prelude number 4. In fact, 2 people have made left hand alone versions. What am I doing? I think this is one of them. If not, then this is new. Never seen this one before. Cool. So there's 3 other, and there's actually 4 other versions. So this guy is one. There was another one where I saw someone playing. Oh, cool. Valentina, the sister, played with left hand alone once. Here's one other, Komanetsky. Really nice. And it's a good version. It just loses too much of the original for me. So I just went and made my own version. Which is much more loyal to the original, obviously. You'll see how. Thank you very much, Lucas. That's very kind of you to say. Anyways, let's get back to it. Oh, Samira also made a version of the Lacrimosa that uses something he calls, what's it called? Tremolo cantabile, which is using tremolos on the piano to recreate a God. Tremolos on the piano to recreate a choir effect. Hey, classical sheet music. Let's see if we can find that sheet music real quick. There we go. Hey, Marco. Long time no see, buddy.
Da mesma forma, a Sonata Waldstein, conhecida como Sonata Waldstein, Opus 53, era uma mera redução e vários anos depois, já em 2006, eu refiz essa transcrição de um modo que eu considerei mais virtuosisticamente apropriado.
I just realized, how did he play that left hand arpeggio just now? Okay, that's the closest I'll ever get to see his left hand being that fast. Wow, that was really fucking fast. Jeez. Yeah. Anyways, life's been busy. I feel that, dude. It's been busy as fuck for me, too. I got a midterm tomorrow, so I just came to say hi. Tomorrow's Saturday. Why do you have a midterm tomorrow, dude? Jesus, good. Best of luck. Yeah. Go study. And take care, or at least get your sleep, dude. Take care, though. Anyways, best of luck, man. God, university's giving fucking exams on a Saturday. Come on, dude. Not like I've dealt with that too, and it's just mean. That's all I can say. Excuse me. Yeah, that makes sense. Now some 12-year-olds have to go to Zoom classes, which is fine. Except they have to sit there for 7 hours every single day. Fuck that. Come on. MuseScore is doing some stupid fucking shit. Like it always fucking does. God fucking damn. How do I... Is there any way for me to put this back on the fucking thing? Or am I just stuck with this now? I don't even know how I dislocated it in the first place. Jesus. There's a way, I'm sure, yeah, I know there's a way, but how do I do it? I swear to God, this was different in my sheet music. Need to look that up now. Control Shift up on the arrow at the end of the slur to move it back up. What? Drag it back to its normal location, then move it around in that normal location. Okay, I'll do that when I'm widescreen again. I need to check my book when I'm not lazy. Yeah, because I thought it was weird that there was like 2 consecutive Gs. Okay, well at least now that's settled. Oops. What the fuck is happening right now? Okay. Sorry, just a little overreaction on my part, as usual. Why would you do that? Satan couldn't come up with something this fucking maniacal if he tried. Jesus. Why are you making that face, Redstone? What's wrong? Ah, god damn it. Holy shit. What the fuck? My god, dude. Like I said, Satan couldn't make something more diabolical if he tried. The MuseScore creators just really haven't beat on this one. It's astounding. Why do I prefer notating online to on paper? Well, first of all, there's so many reasons. First of all, way easier to to send to people. Way easier, like significantly easier to send to people. On paper's faster? Yeah, unless you make a mistake. One mistake kind of fucks up the whole thing. Not to mention, like, I really want to, like, sell these one day. You're never gonna sell, like, unless you're, like, dead, you're never gonna sell your manuscripts. It's just not gonna happen. So that's like the long and the short of why I do this online. Plus, this is legitimately, like, no sarcasm. Like, this is legitimately faster for me. I get way too in my head about writing if I do it on paper. And plus, my writing's just like I don't. How do I put this? I think too fast. I think way too fast to write on paper. And like when I do write on paper, I have to be all like nitty gritty and like I have to like put all these specific like I'm a very perfectionist about writing it on paper. I'd rather just have the computer do most of the cleanliness for me. So, yeah. Paper comes in handy when you don't have a computer nearby. Well, when I don't have a computer nearby. For me, it is impossible to keep up with ideas unless I handwrite the music. I will never be able to relate to that. I just can't. Um, if I need to get an idea out fast, I have to do it on paper. I just type faster than I write. Paper, like once I start taking something to the, if I have an idea in my head, excuse me, and I take it to the piano, 90% of the time I lose what I was thinking about. 90% of the time. And I don't know how to write this ending at all, so... Oh, well, I can at least put it in some slurs. Let's see. I can make these invisible, fuck it. Is that staccato or not? This one doesn't say it is. Is that staccato or not? It looks... That is a perfect dot. That has to be staccato, and we'll check. I wish they would make staccatos like the least bit bigger. It'd be so much easier to identify. There's another staccato over here somewhere. It's over here. That is a dot. Where is it? That's a dot. That's a dot. That's a near perfect circle by engraving standards. We're sticking with it. I'm uploading Paganini Caprice 18 for solo piano by me on YouTube. That's exciting. Do you mind if I watch it on stream? Alright. What the fuck just happened? Okay. I have no idea. I have no idea what else to do. I don't know what to do here, so I'm just gonna close it for now. Saw the progress I could make. Yes, you dumb bitch. Sorry. Close. Wait, so do you mind if can I watch it on stream? Speaking of which, by the way, I made my own arrangements of Caprices 4 and 14. Someday I want to do all of them. Go to my channel and it's there, but... Oops. That is 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 6. What's up, Matthew? This channel is about classical sheet music, which is what I show on my stream. Not my stream. Well, I show it on stream sometimes, but it's mainly on my channel. Streams are just for me to dick around. Let's check this out. That's pretty nice. Pretty nice. I need to listen to the original Caprice again. But, as its own thing, not bad at all. Some stuff here and there I might change, but, I'm not gonna go into it or anything. It's really nice. How do you notate poco a poco retardando and rescore? Dude, you have to ask after I close it out. I'll show you real... It's... I don't know, it's kind of weird. Let me check out my score that I made real quick. So if you go to your score, we'll retardando, huh? Okay, so what you can do, there's two ways to go about it. One is you can just, text expression. You press X to move the expression up. Then you can just type it out and space it out. You could do that. Alternatively, I'll full screen it for this one. There we go. And we'll make this thinner. Alternatively, what you can do is put a crescendo on here, lines. Yeah, crescendo. And what you can actually do is you press X to move it up. And then you get this thing over here. This text thing over here in the inspector. You type in poco a poco. Oh my god. Type it correctly. Poco a poco retardando. And then you can just stretch it out for however long you need to. I don't think it'll play the crescendo if you do that, but don't take my word for it. That's how you do that. I'm doing all caprices. Nice. I am also going to do all caprices someday. Which one is... this is my arrangement of number 4. This is like my first time arranging something like from one instrument to another, and I was really proud of this, honestly. No problem, Jesse. Nocturne would be a really good idea for this one. I would love to see how you tackle that. I have like very specific memories attached to this piece. I think I made it like last year, or I finished it last year. I remember going to like Vegas and stuff, like... Yeah, I finished it last year and I made the video in May. So that was that one. I'm fucking tired, dude. But I still want to find that one interview. I'm also going to show my arrangement of 14 real quick, just for the fuck of it. Oh, you made a 14 arrangement too. Yeah, we're both. I guess we're just both gonna make all the Paganini caprices for piano. No big deal. Schumann also did he didn't do all of them. Schumann did a lot of them though. I need to make a score video for those actually. Schumann Paganini Etudes. He also made one for number 4. Oh, and thank you, Classical Sheet Music. Oops, fuck. Why would you put the end stamps? These feel like nursing home piano pieces. Like they have like a very old honky tonk tune about them. And that's one set. Where's the other set? Jeez. Oh, here's number 4. He did like a pseudo canon or quasi canon kind of thing. Not a huge fan of this though. And but I will say the way he ends these sections are just fucking beautiful. And then the very ending. So beautiful. So beautiful. Anyways, let's find this Marc-Andre Hamlin interview. So tired. And it's not even showing me the fucking results that are relevant to me. This is not for me. What's for me is fucking actual fucking interviews with fucking Mark fucking Andre Hamlin. That's all I want. I don't want fucking personalized search results. What the fuck does that even mean? Fucking dumbass, stupid ass, bitch ass, fuck ass, useless ass site. This is kind of looks like the interview I want, but it's not really. It's definitely with that hairstyle. Where the hell is this interview, dude? Mm-mm. Where the hell is this interview? Did the person just take it down from YouTube? No, we're starting over the search. I think this might be it. But it's like 3 minutes long. We'll listen to it while we search for it. This is not it. But we'll watch it anyways. Oh, let's see this.
I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now had it not been for my father.
Like,
My father was
nice.
a very good amateur pianist. I remember him playing lots of things. You know, he played some Chopin etudes. I mean, he loved Chopin and Liszt, I think, above anybody else. And I remember watching him when I was a very young kid. And he said, you know, you were just open-mouthed when you were looking at me. I'm sure it gave him a wonderful feeling. And when I turned 5, you know, he said, would you like lessons? I actually started with my sister. I mean, my sister started at the same time I did. She was a year older. She is a year older than I am. And it was a private teacher, and that particular teacher used a method which was sort of very interactive in that, or interactive in 1966 terms. Nothing electronic or computer, you know, about that. But we had keyboards, you know, in the drawn keyboards in the book, and then we had cut out of a key, and then we had to paste it in the right place. And if it was in the right place, we got a gold star. And that particular method, I mean, I was 5 years old, okay, I understand. The note names had names, like Baby C and Doggy D, FEF and Uncle G.
FEF.
When I get to the piano, I just play. I just do what I need to do.
See, it kind of looks like Jack Nicholson.
Pieces, some passages that I think are problematic, some passages I need to work on, and that's it really. So I try to eat well enough before concert, and if I can't, if it's too soon, then I'll just have a protein bar or something to keep me going. Otherwise, I just try to have a good night's sleep the night before. The thrill of studying piano is that the more you progress, the more fascinating it becomes, I think, because it is a marvelous, the science and art of piano playing and of the literature written for it. I mean, it is so rich, so complex, so full of many facets. There's so many styles involved. It is like an immense wonderful playing field, and there's always there's something for every taste. I can't imagine a better instrument to play simply because of this, and the instrument itself is so full of colors. You know, it's black and white, yes, and sometimes it's brown, but whatever. But it's black and white, but it is so full of any colors, you know, you can put into it. You know, you can draw from it any colors that you can think up. You know, it's there. It's just waiting for you to draw it out.
Nice. That was fun to watch. What's not fun is not fucking finding the fucking thing I need. I don't even really need it. I just really want to find this interview. Is this it? I'm gonna cry if this is it. It's 45 fucking minutes long. Ay. Definitely not that one. It's just some guy talking about Hamlin. It's definitely not this one. It was like, he looks like serious faced. You know? Same Harris interview we just watched. Ooh. Cool. Nope. Yeah, I have that sheet music too. Nope. I guess it's just really not on YouTube anymore, huh? That's a fucking shame. The quote I was looking for is where Hamlin I think Hamlin said this, but I don't know for sure. He said something along the lines of, I don't think my technique can get any better than it currently is at. Or something. I swear I thought I heard him say that. Now we're getting into like shit posts. Okay, well, guess I can't find it. Keep this here because this is very interesting. We're gonna listen to the whole interview. Maybe not. We'll maybe listen to the first half hour because I'm very tired. Hey, River Run. What the fuck am I listening to? Okay, someone has to have commented where the shit starts, right? I've heard him mention L. Ron Hubbard a few times. Refers to him as a great American philosopher. I'm so disappointed. What could you possibly be disappointed by? What the fuck? What a random thing to be like, I am so disappointed about it.
What a...
Okay, and by the way, Kathy Fuller is, I believe, Marc-Andre Hamlin's wife. So, significance here.
What an astonishing collaboration between the Philadelphia Orchestra, Eugene Ormandy, Franz Liszt, and Cyprian Katsaris. That's the Fantasia on Hungarian folk themes for piano and orchestra. And it is such a pleasure to be here with you and with Cyprian Katsaris. Thank you for coming.
I thank you, Kathy, for the kind invitation. I'm very moved to be here with you in such a prestigious city, Boston, considering the history musically. It's a great pleasure and honor for me. And you know, this meeting with Mr. Ormandy 26 or 25 years ago or so was quite something. This recording, which was made for EMI Angel, and which we just got recently the license from them on my little label Piano 21, was quite an experience because when I met Mr. Ormandy, I told him, Maestro, I'm very intimidated. You know, he asked me to come to his place and rehearse the three pieces which are on this on the recording. One day only before the recording happened. And I told him that I was intimidated, and he says, "Oh, you know, my young friend, when I was a young conductor, and they told me that I was going to accompany Rachmaninoff. You know that he recorded his piano concertos with Rachmaninoff, most of them. I was also so intimidated, and I remember this first performance where he was playing his Rhapsody on a Theme by Paganini. During the concert, Rachmaninoff changed the notes." And I looked at him while I was conducting, and I was frightened because he was very tall. He had this big, long face, and he looked at me angry, and he just said while he was playing, "Play." So I thought that I met...
Hold on, I have to fact check this now. What? When did Rachmaninoff die? Wait, did I hear that right? That he played with Rachmaninoff? Was I just not paying enough attention? What the hell? He's not that old. Okay, yeah. What? Who was he talking about? Go back.
I told him, Maestro, I'm very... The license from them on my little label Piano 21 was quite an experience because when I met Mr. Ormandy, I told him, Maestro, I'm very intimidated. You know, he asked me to come to his place and rehearse the three pieces which are on this on the recording. One day only before the recording happened. And I told him that I was intimidated, and he says, "Oh, you know, my young friend, when I was a young conductor, and they told me that I was going to accompany Rachmaninoff. You know that he recorded his piano concertos with Rachmaninoff, most of them."
I missed it again. But thank you for clarifying, Jesse. That makes sense.
His place and rehearse the three pieces which are on the experience because when I met Mr. Ormandy,
okay.
I told him, Maestro, I'm very intimidated. You know, he asked me to come to his place and rehearse the three pieces which are on the recording. One day only before the recording happened. And I told him that I was intimidated, and he says, "Oh, you know, my young friend, when I was a young conductor, and they told me that I was going to accompany Rachmaninoff. You know that he recorded his piano concertos with Rachmaninoff, most of them.
Normandy worked with Rachmaninoff.
I was also so intimidated, and I remember this first performance where he was playing his Rhapsody on a Theme by Paganini. During the concert, Rachmaninoff changed the notes. And I looked at him while I was conducting, and I was frightened because he was very tall. He had this big, long face, and he looked at me angry, and he just said while he was playing, "Play." So I thought that I messed up with the orchestra. And at the end of the concert, I went to see him and to apologize. And he said, no, it's not your fault. It was my fault because I just had a memory problem and I started improvising. And then I felt better. You know?
What a great story.
And Ormandy, as you know, Eugene Ormandy was Hungarian. So this Hungarian fantasy, which has been the very first piece I played in a concert when I was a student in Paris at the Théâtre des Champs-Élysées, was a shock for me when I heard it just a few years before, played in the same hall by Cifra, the great Hungarian pianist Georgi Cifra, who unfortunately is not as famous as he should have been in this country, which only had admiration for Horowitz. Of course, Horowitz was a great musician, a great pianist, but Cifra was also a great musician, also a great
2009.
pianist. And excuse me to say that pianistically, purely pianistically, Cifra was much superior than Horowitz. If you compare the scores of his arrangements, like The Flight of the Bumblebee, for example, with any arrangement of Horowitz, I personally believe that pianistically it's much more difficult, although we are not always looking for the most difficult piece. But it is unfair that he was so underrated in this country.
When you were at this concert and Cifra was there, how old were you?
When I heard Cifra the first time live, he played the Hungarian Fantasy and the first piano concerto of Liszt. It was, I think, in '62. I was 11 years old. And then when I met him, when I played at his competition in 1974 in Versailles, I asked him the score of The Flight of the Bumblebee, which for me was a mystery. How is it possible to play like this? I had this LP with all his paraphrases and transcriptions, and I couldn't understand how it's possible. So he said to me, he was a very humble man, by the way. He was very humble, very simple, very, very generous person, good heart person. When you met him, you wouldn't imagine that he was such a great pianist. He said, I never wrote it down because I was improvising all this stuff. And then he had the idea to ask his son, who was a wonderful conductor, with whom I played Tchaikovsky No. 1 at the competition.
Nice.
He asked Georgie Jr. to write it down using a special recording machine which could play much slower.
Yes, those are
which
helpful.
must have been a torture for him. And then Cifra checked it, he corrected it, and he did something not very nice to me, because there is a trill in the middle part, E, F, E, F, and then he changed it into... And he says, okay, you want to play that? Okay. You come to my show. He had a big show on French television. We used to have a very fantastic show called The Great Chessboard once a month.
See him on too.
For 3 hours live on prime time on national TV. Once a month, you had one guest of honor. For example, Cifra or Yehudi Menuhin or Herbert von Karajan with the Berlin Philharmonic Orchestra or Alexis Weissenberg, and the guest of honor had the right to invite who he wanted. It was going on live on TV in the whole country for 3 hours at 8:30 p.m. until 11:30 p.m. So he told me, okay, you want to play this? Okay, you come now to my show and you play that. It was in April 75. And I found out recently that some anonymous guy, I would like to know who did that, put this performance of my Bumblebee arrangement by Cifra, which I played in his presence on that TV show, on YouTube.
Yes, I've
Somebody
seen it.
put it.
Yeah.
So
See classical sheet music. For anyone curious, here's Casares playing Flight of the Bumblebee in front of Schifra 5 years ago. Was there an older version? I guess there had to be. Yes, 10 years ago. Probably even older than that. Jeez. Anyways, here's him playing it in front of Schifra. Dude, look at his fucking hands. Jesus, they're huge. Casares' hands are huge too. He has hands like Liszt.
Which I played in his presence on that TV show on YouTube.
Yes, I've
Somebody
seen it.
put it.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's how it happened, and I will never forget that for this show, Cifra was supposed to play the Hungarian Fantasy, and he called me in the afternoon, Cyprian, I lost my score. Can you bring your score? So I gave him my score, which I never saw again, of course. And that's how it happened.
It's a good investment. Well, we'd love to hear your recording of the Cifra version of The Flight of the Bumblebee.
Oh, bet. Okay, well, we just watched it, so we're gonna skip over fucking 3 minutes.
Would make
Oh shit. I
Yes,
just only did it. Okay.
It just makes you smile. It has such electricity.
You know, Kathy, when I listened to this 34 years later, I played this version as a fourth encore at the festival which takes place in Nohant, Nohant, which is
Chopin's home,
the place of
or Georges Sand's home.
Georges Sand, exactly,
Right.
the house of Georges Sand. I never played it since then, and I don't smile, I'm terrified. You know,
It makes you looked a little tense when you were listening.
And you know what I like with Cifra? When he would do a run on the piano, all the other pianists would make a run very academically, you know, like this. And Cifra would make it expressive. You know, always phrasing, and that's the whole difference.
Is that, well, I mean, the whole concept of virtuosity in its best sense is that a vision is immediately produced. There's nothing in the way.
You are absolutely right. It must always be musical. Whether you play something slow or something fast, it must always communicate a musical emotion. And as you know, music is supposed to express anything from life. So if in a Beethoven sonata, you know, sometimes I remember professors saying, don't have a hard sound, but excuse me, Beethoven himself, when he used to play, he was expressing his revolt or his anger, and you don't think of a beautiful sound. You know, you're not going to do... You know, revolt is revolt. It's not just beautiful sound. And this is what I would criticize a little bit, for example, with this great conductor, von Karajan. At the end of his life, he was always trying to get a beautiful sound, but music expresses much more than that, you know?
Tell us about this. You have offered to play this piece by Franz Liszt. I think so much of the music of Franz Liszt is explosive as far as the piano is concerned. Suddenly there's a new concept, a new idea, a revolution for the instrument. Well, what is this piece?
Well, the amazing factor with Liszt, at least in my humble opinion, is the incredible, the very vast diversity of the aspects of his music. The gypsy Liszt, the poetic Liszt, the religious Liszt, the romantic Liszt, and there is the avant-garde Liszt. I think he was the very first composer who wrote nearly atonal music. Before Scriabin, before Debussy, you know that Wagner or Mahler even were influenced by the music of Liszt and so many other composers, and it is so unfair that it took so long time to get Liszt recognized as a great composer. I mean, even recently I hear some stupid comments by some famous pianists saying Liszt music is worth nothing, you know, it's just ridiculous. No, Liszt was a real genius. And this is one of the late pieces he composed at the end of his life. It's called Trauervorspiel und Marsch in German, which means funeral prelude and march.
We're delighted to hear it. We're live today with Cyprian Katsaris. That is music of Franz Liszt, an unbelievably, as you say, Cyprian Katsaris, avant-garde.
Yes.
I think I'm gonna call it a night. I'm barely even paying attention. Would this piece be considered programmatic or absolute? Never heard before. But I know Liszt would be considered under the Wagnerian programmatic. Bro, I don't know. I don't. Despite the viewership of my channel, I don't really know shit about music specificities to that degree. So I'm sorry. I don't even know what avant-garde means, to be honest. Anyways, I'm gonna take off. Y'all take care of yourselves. If you're watching the stream thus far, appreciate you. Otherwise, see you guys next time. Bye.